correct. So, Rams in Arizona, the most obvious one. Well, maybe not the most obvious, but obvious ones. And right now, because I'm actually going to start down here with the Rams in Seattle. So the goal here is more about the rarity score. However, you don't necessarily have to go for that if you don't want to. You can go for the perfect 9 for 9, like I'm going to try to do for this specific quiz. Here, I'm going to be putting in Cooper Kupp, which is one of the more obvious answers here. Or I guess not. 3%. Guess that. Up here, putting in Le'Veon Bell. I know he had, obviously, the year with the Jets after his holdout with the Steelers. Had a brief stint with Tampa Bay, so 9% would that. I guess that makes a little bit more sense. People don't know about his Bucks tenure. The Rams and the Jets, I will be putting in Greg Zuerlein, Greg the Leg Zuerlein, because that makes a lot of sense. Next we got Seattle and Tampa Bay. So I actually don't have an answer for this one right off the bat. So just have first round draft pick then. Which will do Jackson Smith and Jigma. Does that make sense? Jets, we'll go with an obvious answer here. Zach Wilson, because he was a first round draft pick. And as for Arizona, we'll go with Kyler Murray, because he was also a first round draft pick. Now, got 2 more remaining. Which are going to be Tampa Bay and Atlanta. Arizona, I'm sorry, not Atlanta. And the Rams, I don't know, along with Tampa Bay and Seattle. Now, I actually don't have answers for these right off the grid. There's a chance I can just give up here, which I just might do that. I don't necessarily have to do that, but I will do that. Now, the fun thing with this is, at least with Sports Reference here, or as Pro Football Reference is ImmaculateGrid is, you can keep guessing till you get a specific player. I'm not going to do that. How about I've done quiz number 600. I have not. So obviously with that part, I'll cut that part out. Meaning that part's not really usable. So this one, Trevor Siemian, corner. A lot of people don't know about that. This one, I can put Nick Folk right there, 0.7. That's even more rare. Once again, with the first round draft pick, I would just put Zach Wilson in again. This one, first round draft pick. Jalen Hurts was not a first round draft pick. However, Carson Wentz was a first round draft pick. And yards passing in a first round draft pick, I'll put Jared Goff, number 1 overall pick for the Rams. Obviously now with the Lions, has done this. Tampa Bay, I'll put Tom Brady in here, even though I could go. Actually, why don't we not go with the obvious answer? I think it's EIS. Yep, Jameis Winston is who I'll put there. And the Bears, I don't think Caleb Williams done this yet. However, we're going to go even further back. We'll go Jay Cutler there. Here we can go with DeAndre Swift, since both teams have had him. We're going to have to look it up this way. Fine. For this one... Oh, I know. Hassan Reddick played for both of these teams. Well, I didn't expect to get immaculate on the second try. But I guess that's a really low rarity score, which I didn't expect. So, but I'm not going to. Why don't I do 599? I mean, I think that'll be it for this video. So, while I was in the middle of searching, have you guys beaten my score yet? At least with rarity, not in terms of immaculacy. So I definitely chose a little bit of a harder one here. So Patriots in Arizona, I will put Jacoby Brissett. That makes the most sense. Could have put Jacoby Brissett here as well, but I decided not to. Like, there's a different answer I could put there. Here, I'll put in Odell, because that makes the most sense. Here, I'm going to go with a not so obvious answer, but it is kind of obvious in its own regard. I will put Devin Singletary in that slot. So, next one, what do you guys think I should put in? Which slot should I put in? Guys said San Francisco and New England. You guys would be smart, because I actually do have an answer for this one. I'll put in Jimmy Garoppolo on that one. This one, I'll put in Jimmy Ward. That is not how you spell that. I got Jimmy Ward is spelled a little bit differently with the first name, compared to how I would spell it, but I ain't one to judge on names. I'll put here, part of one of the worst possible trades of all time. Why Houston had to do it, I don't know. David Johnson in there, even though I could have put DeAndre Hopkins, but I did not. Yeah, I originally had this as a shorts video, but I got a little bit carried away, so this will be a long-form video instead. I do apologize for that. But I don't think we're gonna get immaculate on this one. But that's okay. How many guys think you could get immaculate on this one? Grid number 599. I'm not sure any of you possibly could. Not sure if you guys are smart enough to be able to do that, but maybe you are. I ain't one to judge. I am certainly not one to judge. Cleveland, Arizona, I have no idea. New England and New York, I don't know either. And then San Francisco and Cleveland. I don't know. I guess I'll just try to go for the perfect 9 for 9, even if I'm not perfect. Ooh, I think this one. This will be the last one. So once again, we can put in Devin Singletary and Odell. I mean, San Francisco and Cleveland again. I hate that. Once again, I can put in Jimmy Ward again. 50 sacks in their career. I'm going to take a guess here. How do I spell it? That's how you spell it. I'm going to take a guess and be correct. Obviously, Myles Garrett, who just broke the sack record, would have 50 sacks in his career, because that would make the most sense. This one, I'm going to try to guess Cam Jordan here. I think they want it as Cameron Jordan. They do. Yep. He's got 50 sacks in his career. I pretty well figured that. On free categories, I can put in Jameis here, because that's going to be an obvious answer. 1% would guess that. Holy gee. Ugh. It's a lot less than I expected. Who would you guys put there instead of Jameis? I do not know. I do not. Wait a minute. I didn't do this on the last one. I just now thought about it because I get to change the redemption here. Nick Mullins played for both of these teams. Cleveland very briefly, and obviously San Francisco very briefly. How did I forget about that? At least they gave me a chance at redemption on that. Now, San Francisco and New Orleans. I have no idea. No idea. Wait, or do I? I'm going to take a guess and probably be very wrong. Guessing is a part of the... And be correct with that guess. I'll take it. I'll take that, honestly. That's kind of cool. One that would make it. Sure. Okay. Now I think the next ImmaculateGrid video I end up recording, probably after I get an Immaculate, I'll go until I don't Immaculate anymore. I need to do some queued up that I didn't do, or that I haven't yet done. No, actually, did that one too. What about the second one? Haven't yet done that one. So I'll end it off with these two. So, for Baltimore and Tennessee, I'm going to go with the obvious answer of DeAndre Hopkins. Played for both of these teams, Tennessee and Baltimore, very recently. This one, I would go with Odell Beckham Jr., who played for Baltimore in 2023 and the Rams in 2021. Obviously, as we can see, the outside corner is 10 sacks in a season. I say I have no idea on this one. Here, once again, I will go back to the kickers. I will put Nick Folk there. Has played for both of these teams. Jets, actually, this year. Tennessee, a few years ago. Here, I will put in Greg the Wide Leg Zerline. Play for both of these teams. Seattle and Tennessee. Who I think just played for Tennessee this year. Ended the season with Las Vegas, Tyler Lockett, and who was a mainstay, for quite a long time. Seattle and the Rams, once again, I'll put in Cooper Kupp here. which I know is a boring answer, but all of these have been pretty rare so far, except for Odell. Not so bad if I do say so myself. Well, that means I get a decent rarity score here. I'm guessing DeMarcus Lawrence just did this year. He did not. Interesting. I'm still gonna be wrong, I guess, so I can't get immaculate on this one, which that's okay. Guessing is a whole part of the game sometimes. I do believe, though, Kyle Van Noy from Baltimore does have that. He did. Yep. That's okay. I mean, sometimes you won't get them all every time. Once again, you can do the overtime thing, but it technically doesn't count. Bottom of the screen says they're not included in the in the overall score and the stats. So here, I'll put in Jacoby Brissett to start. So which direction do I now go in? Oh, here I can put in Jalen Ramsey, who has done this. Wait a minute. Does Dan Marino actually have a Super Bowl? He does not. Why do I always think that Dan Marino has a Super Bowl when he truly doesn't? You know who does, though? Counts towards the Colts. The Sheriff himself. Texans season as Super Bowl champion. Aaron Donald would have this. That makes the most sense. Season TJ Watt, who was very close to breaking the sack record a few years ago. Myles Garrett goes and just like, no. Phew, I'm going to break the sack record this year, I guess. Arizona 10 sacks in a season. I think Calais Campbell did this year, but I'm not positively sure. He did not. What he did. Ugh. Guess I don't know then. What do I want to put on this one? I don't know. Up there. So, yeah, it's pretty much how to do the ImmaculateGrid. Yeah, pretty much all I want to say for this video. I'll see you all next time.